public hearing. Now, council, do I hear a motion for or against the special use permit for Cole Road?
I'll make a motion we approve special use permit for Cole Road.
I second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Randy Jernigan, seconded by Councilman J.C. Triplett. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Appreciate your patience, gentlemen. Okay, our regular business. Planning Department, Ms. Brookins.
Thank you. Inside your packet is the report for June 2019 for planning, zoning, and code enforcement. The major project that's came in since last time is
Hold down your conversation till the meeting's over, please.
I'll go through another one.
Olive Branch, who previously had a sketch plat. They're coming in with their construction plan, so working on review of that, but if you have any questions.
Council, anyone have any comments or questions of the report that's in your packet?
On the Piratan project. I don't know if it's Strickland Road, Sutherland Road, or Piratan. We need to check their silt fences, because we still got a muddy creek.
That's the one that's, one of the two is behind my house, correct?
Sutherland is
Yeah,
behind
off
your
of
house.
Sutherland, yeah, I've seen their,
Piratan's on the other side.
right, the one that's behind my place, I've seen the silt fence go all the way around, and they have two retention ponds. It was last storm that we had on Friday, one of them worked fine, so they have them, and they do have the ponds up and running, so.
Get out and bring you a glass of water.
Not from your stream, thank you.
Okay? You know it's muddy then.
I would, I
But
don't
we
see
need to get the ponds and make sure that,
yeah, I'm just saying that what I've seen, that's all. I'm just making my comment. I've seen them.
I hadn't been back in the woods.
Yeah, well, come on over sometime.
I'm going to be
We'll go back.
making a trip out there, so
It could be the H&H development on Piratan.
I'll check that.
Any other questions? Street Department, Councilman Triplett.
Okay, the first thing we have is to review and award bid for culvert work on Ives Landing subdivision. Leanna, could you just give a little rundown of what the situation is at that Ives Landing?
Sure. So as you're all aware, we have had some complaints about the water buildup at Ives Landing. A lot of it's got to do with the way that some of the culverts and the pipes between the houses were originally built. But there are some issues with the culverts underneath the roads that the town owns. And those are the problems that we can take care of. That's the part that the town is responsible for. So I met with the engineer out there. We met out there twice, and then we met out there with a couple of the contractors, talking to them about what needs to be done on the town's side of it. There will still be some issues on the property owner's side of it that the town is not responsible for and can't do anything about. And those are the pipes. But the culverts underneath the roads that are giving the biggest problem, we can hire someone to go out there and take care of those issues, and we feel like it will make it a lot better. I'm not saying that it's 100% take care of all of the issues, just because a lot of it is coming from the private properties, pipes. But we can do our part, and both of these are comparable. We've worked with AGP before. They actually are the ones that met with the engineer out there. Whitmire Grading spoke with the engineer on the phone. I was not with the engineer when he talked with Whitmire, but he should have given them a really good idea of what needed to be done to fix our part of the problem.
Do we have to raise or lower any driveways nearby?
Not the driveways. There is a shoulder in one particular area that is going to need to be lowered somewhat. They'll grade it off and then seed it back. But we have made that property owner aware that that's something that the town is doing just to kind of help the problem with the culverts underneath the road in that area. But it is something that's probably going to have to be done again. And it's, you know, over time, as you cut grass and the grass builds up there, and it's just causing a backup problem there in those pipes, just because of the way that it was built, honestly. It wasn't the ideal roads to take into the system, but we've taken them in their hours, and we need to do our part and take care of what we're responsible for. So there is one culvert, I will say, there is one culvert at the entrance of Ives Landing that is on DOT right of way. So we're having conversations right now with DOT as to whether or not they are going to come in and clean out that culvert and replace the riprap, or if they're gonna allow us to do it and do an encroachment agreement. So, but that'll be a separate project that'll come before you if it's over the amount. So, but this project is just gonna include 3 different other sections within the subdivision.
Do we have any recourse back to the builder? To
The
recoup
town
our
is not, no, but we have spoken with the HOA, one of the HOAs that's having more of this issue on their side of the subdivision. And we just let them know that if they want to do that, you know, they could contact their own attorney and try to see what they could do as far as some of the things that the builder did. But as far as the town is concerned, no.
Okay, as you can see in our packet, we got a bid from Andrews Grading and Paving, which was for $6,000. In my understanding, you received the Whitmire Grading and Paving estimate this morning, right?
Monday.
Monday,
Yeah, today's Monday. Yeah, I'm sorry.
this morning, and it's $5,200. And I spoke with Leanna today, and they both, my understanding, both have addressed all the situations that the engineer said we needed to address, correct?
Okay. They have both spoken with the engineer, so.
So I listened to what everybody else says before we start. Anybody got any comments to make?
Have we done any work with Whitmere before?
Not for this type of work. They patched a very large pothole on Family Drive for us a few weeks ago.
Anybody worked with Whitmere, had anything to do with it? Whitmere, the second bid that we got in, Whitmere Grading.
Whitmire.
I never had to deal with
Anybody else?
Well, I don't know whether it's good or bad, but I know him well.
I didn't even know he's great.
Do what?
He's got all the equipment necessary to do the work and knows how.
Make a motion that we accept the bid from Whitmere Grading and Paving. There are no other further questions.
Motion by Councilman David McGowan to accept the lower bid by Whitmire Construction of grading and paving. I hear a second. Second by Councilman Philip Wright. All in favor? Ayes have it.
Just
Okay,
so that you all know too, in talking with the engineer and both contractors, they'll have to, which we've had a really dry spell right now, but it will probably be another couple of weeks before they would begin work, as long as there's not any rain. Because if there is any kind of moisture because of the soil out there in one of the spots, they're not going to be able to do it until it's been dry for quite some time.
Do the roads need to be shut down while they're doing it?
I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I can find out from them. If they're going to be, we'll make sure that we notify the residents.
Are they required any type of bond?
Sorry.
Are they required any type of bond to do the work?
Well, they're insured, but yes, they would have to.
the second situation that I want to bring up is I've found out lately that the car that our code enforcement is taking out is in my opinion, from what I've heard, unsafe. It won't travel more than 40 miles an hour. It's got a tendency to shut off immediately right in the middle of the road. And I don't think that we can afford to put one of our employees into a vehicle that is unsafe. If something was to happen to her, we would be totally responsible. And I know that the chief has said he doesn't think it's, from my understanding, he doesn't think it's safe. He wouldn't put an officer of his in it. Leanna says they wouldn't ride it. I've also heard that Wendy's husband, who is an auto mechanic, has told her she does not need to drive that vehicle. If you cannot put a person in a vehicle that can go, she will not go on 70 because she's afraid it might conk out right in front of somebody. We do not need a situation where we're putting an employee into a dangerous situation. So we have to figure out something to do with it. We can't continue to put our employees in a dangerous situation. And I'll listen to what everybody else has to say about it. David, I understand you use this car on weekends.
Yeah, I do. I use it every Saturday. Getting over 40 mile an hour is correct. I think one time going down a hill recently, I got it to 45. I didn't feel safe going to 45. The problem, there's a lot of problems with it. I'm certainly not a mechanic. However, a couple of other things that you didn't point out. When I travel with that thing, I travel at 2 or 3 mile an hour on the side of the road with community service folks in front of me and on the side. Twice that car has elected to go a lot more than 2 to 3 mile an hour. And it wasn't at my urging. I had my foot on the brake. So what it's doing is, on occasion, it surges. And when it surges, you push on the brake as hard as you can. That does not solve the problem. I've had to yell at them to get out of the way, put it in neutral, then it stops, put it in park, shut it down for a couple of minutes. Am I correct, Wendy? Start it up, and then it's fine. But I can't tell when it's going to do that. It has, I put it in reverse a couple of times, and it has completely stopped and just shut off. It's got a mind of its own. I don't trust the vehicle. The gas gauge is a minor thing. It'll go from full, it was a full tank Saturday morning, and by noon it was dinging empty on me, and I knew that wasn't right. But nevertheless, that's just one of the many things. The only thing that works on it that I can trust is the air conditioner and the radio.
That works very well.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, everything else, I drive it with the hood popped up, not released, but popped up to allow the heat, the accumulation of heat to disperse, because I know that thing is overheating in there and I can't trust the gauge. So I don't like the car.
I believe that's obvious.
Yeah, if it dies on me, that's okay. I'll get out and me and my community service guys will walk home or call the officer. But Wendy's a different story. I don't want Wendy stuck out there. I know it's a small town and we don't have any desolate roads, but she sometimes has to go down some dirt roads. I don't want Wendy going down there with that thing not starting up, not backing up, or refusing to stop. I don't like the car.
Take it out of service. We have a truck for now.
My point is, here's what I think, before I'll back to you in a second. My point is, if we're going to do something, which we need to do it now. Because if that car dies tomorrow, Wendy can't do her job, and she's doing a wonderful job.
If it's unsafe, she don't need in it at all.
Right,
So,
and I can't
right
do
now,
my,
the truck
right,
is the fix.
I can't do my job on Saturday, so we have to come up with a solution now.
That we have a truck for right now.
Yeah, we can't table this discussion.
Right. That's why we have a truck for now. We're getting ready to get 3 new police cars. Instead of taking 3 police cars and salvage or surplusing the police cars,
Better have one in.
we can use the best one that we're
We
getting
talked
rid of
about
to do that.
But
Or,
I don't think
or
any of those are, I don't think
they're not
as-
suitable either.
Yeah, they're not really suitable either. Not only
Okay.
that, it'd be very expensive to take the stripes off.
Chief, is any of those that's going out of service serviceable for what we look for.
No, they're no better than what you're trying to get rid of.
The other thing is if we use the truck is a nice temporary solution. However, let's think about when we do hire a maintenance person, he's going to be using it when he needs it. So, you know, what we're going to get into there.
I think we need to come up with a situation. I'm not saying buy a brand new car. I'm saying, let's go to a used car dealer, look for something in the 50,000 mile range that is in really good condition. We can go to different used car dealers and see what we can come up with. And the other thing I think is she's helping with animal control now. So we need something that if she had to help by picking up something that she can put it in, not kind of the kind of car that you might look at a SUV. So my suggestion is that we tonight make a choice to decide to look for a vehicle, not a brand new vehicle, because I don't think we need to buy a brand new vehicle, because the number of miles that she travels during the course of the week is not that important in terms of having a brand new vehicle. But we need to have a safe, serviceable car for our employees. So I would make a motion that we buy a used SUV, go to some of the dealerships and see if we can find one with approximately 50,000 miles on it that is in what they would consider excellent shape for a used vehicle. And come back next month or whenever we need to. If we need to make a special one, we need to get this vehicle as quick as we can. Now, we could probably use the truck until we get the vehicle, because from what Leanna told me today, we've got some pretty good applicants for the maintenance job. So if we're going to hire somebody for the maintenance job, then we're not going to have that truck.
Right.
So we need to make this happen as quick as we can, in my opinion.
What would happen, JC, rather than say, let's go ahead and find something and come back with a special? If the council would put a dollar value that willing to spend, and then we can have a figure and go out and look what the best one we can get for that price. What do you think?
Well, I'm okay with it putting a dollar value out there, but you know, when you're looking at 50,000 miles, somebody tell me what they think the dollar value is going to be.
A lot.
A lot.
But you don't think none of the vehicles we've got will work?
That's what he said. That's what he says, that the vehicle, I can tell you, the vehicle that she's driving right now is unsafe, period. And Chief tells us the three that's going out are more unsafe than hers. So we've got to come up with something. Now, I agree. I know, Randy, that's not going to be cheap, but
Casper's got to go. Sokka's car, he come by me the other night and he was running 45 miles an hour and it was fogging for mosquitoes. It was blowing so much smoke. So I wouldn't drive it myself. So those two definitely will not be good for her to drive.
I don't even know if it's got to be an SUV. I mean,
well, it doesn't have to be, but I'm just
You have to
saying.
have something. If she's helping with animal control, you've got to have something to put a small trap in for a dog or an
Okay,
animal.
but if you do hire a maintenance person, let's assume that we're going to, because I'm not gonna cut the grass the rest of the summer. If we do that, then the truck is available to handle the animal
That's
control,
correct.
and she doesn't need to do that, and all she needs is a compact car for
yeah, just a mid-size. I mean,
decent transportation.
Whatever. Hey, I'm okay with that. But we need to come up, if y'all say compact car, I don't have
Well,
a
that was
problem.
my suggestion was if we put a dollar value out there, I'm just going to throw this out just for grins, 15,000. Let Emily, Leanna, whoever's got the time to go online and start looking and getting ideas and seeing if we're in the right ballpark. See what's there. I mean, everybody's got all their used stuff listed online, so we don't have to go out and hit every used car dealer. I'd like to see us go to new car dealers and get certified used if we could find something in that kind of price range, because the warranty is a whole lot better. But she could do it, they could do it online and come down and narrow it down to something, and we could, if we have a dollar value on it, Leanna can approve it or disapprove it, whatever. Save a lot of time.
It's up to the pleasure of the board. I'm not getting involved in it.
Then I'll make a motion that we look for a compact car in the 50,000 mile used range with a price in the $15,000 range.
I'd second that.
Motion's been made by Councilman J.C. Triplett and seconded by Councilman Dave McGowan to look into buying a compact car to be used for the code enforcement department of the town in the range of $10,000 to $15,000.
I thought it was just 15, cap was 15.
Well, it doesn't mean you got to spend all you got.
It's just a cap, that's what I'm saying. We understand that.
All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
That's all I have.
Okay, while you're on that subject, that makes that car a salvage item. We want to put a number on what we'll take for that car.
How much will pay somebody to take it?
I would put it on good deals and let somebody buy it for parts.
Yeah.
That's probably where you can get your most money out of it.
Strictly salvage.
It would be treated like any other surplus property. So if we end up getting more than the 5,000 threshold for me to get rid of it, then I'll bring it before council. Otherwise, I'll let you know what we got out of it. I don't think
You're
we
not
can
gonna
do
get 5,000 out of it.
Okay. Councilman Wright, events.
First item, in community park update, the Rotary Club was out there week before last, and they were supposed to have another contractor moving in this week to put the road in the parking lot and start doing some grading on that. And we have the fans at the shelter. The switch is locked up inside the equipment room. Can't turn them on unless someone's there to open it up to be turned on. And I'd like to make a suggestion that we look at a timer to put under the shelter to wire the lights and fans to. Something like a dryer timer where you cut it on for an hour and it runs and cut off. So they won't be sitting there running 24 hours right there, cut on and before anyone else goes by and cuts them off. I don't know what the council thinks about that, but that's my suggestion I'd like to see.
Why don't we put a switch where it's accessible so they can be cut off, so when the policemen lock the park up at night, they can make sure the fans are cut off.
Well, whatever, I was just thinking about, kind of like a dry switch, someone go up, turn it on, it work down, cut off in an hour. And I know I've been up there and cut them off, I didn't run 24 hours. And I know what you're talking about, an off-on switch. If the police go around and check it all the time. I had to go up there on Saturday and unlock it, cut them all on, because the part-time officer didn't have a key to get into the building with. Then went back, cut them off that afternoon.
The problem is usually when somebody is renting the shelter and they're not on, then we have to call somebody to go up there and turn them on. But the type of switch he's talking about, they could turn them on, and then if they still need them after they go off, turn them back on again, and then it is eventually going to go off by itself.
We can get Glenn Davis to put it on a switch that would be accessible, I think would be the simplest thing.
Just an on and off switch,
Yes.
just make sure that whoever's renting it turns it off then, or that somebody goes back up there.
Well, the officers close it down every night and they cut it on in the morning. So if there's nobody there, it's not gonna be switched on. Somebody uses it, then the officer cuts it off at night. That's your simplest bet, in my opinion. It's up to the discretion of the board.
obviously, an electrician can get something set up that we can do, like you said, we get the guy you was talking about. We can get somebody to set up something for us. That's what we need to do. It's not gonna cost us that much to get somebody, an electrician to come in there and set this up so we can get it done so that we don't have to go inside to turn it off on our own.
Correct.
That,
I mean-
the timer switch would be under the shelter.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm for that. I think we should try to get an electrician there to make this serviceable.
And one of the ceiling fans doesn't work. Needs to be looked at.
Do we need a
We can get
motion on
electrician.
that, or do we just say that's what we want to do?
No, you don't need a motion.
Okay.
Okay,
The, new, swing frames being put in, the, fall area is supposed to be installed Wednesday, did you say, Jim?
no, he's going there to finalize a price for us.
Oh, okay. We're gonna, when it'll be installed in. But once it is, we'll put swings in. The construction company next door to us out there has encroached over on the property in a ways, and, they're supposed to be out there sometime this week and setting up the, lines through and make restitution, whatever they need to, for the encroachment on the park. And the events board is planning for the community park, community day at the park on August 24th from 10 to what?
11 to 2. 11 to 2.
11 to 2, not 10. Event board are big before 10. Silver Stars updates, they're still having their meetings and doing their crafts and so forth, and enjoying their dinners.
All right.
Unless anybody has any questions, that's all I have.
Councilman Easton, sewer report.
We've got the sewer in. We started some hookups. The letters have been sent out. And it gives you specific instructions on how to go about getting your permit to hook it up. We've already hooked up a 8-inch force main on Wilson Mill Road, a 2-inch force main on Wilson Mills Road, one from the handy mark. They're hooked up, and we have 3 individuals hooked up to the sewer. But the letters have gone out, and it tells you how to go about getting the permits and stuff to hook up. That's it.
I have a question. Johnny, I know.
Use the one they got now.
Okay. All right,
I don't know if they'd be able to keep it pulled in if these other 2 subdivisions.
exactly. That's why I thought I heard something about a second water tower. I'll ask, anybody that goes over and sees Chandra next time, ask her about
I
that.
didn't think that water tower had anything to do with the school.
No,
That's over here.
that's everybody.
That's Wilson Mills.
Yeah.
I can find out from Ted Godwin.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool.
Okay, police report, you've got that in your packet.
In late August or early September. And just to add to the other point, the 4 vehicles that we have over 100,000 miles, only one of them is really serviceable. And that's the one we'll keep is the new Casper. The other 3 would be, constantly repairing them over and over and over again. We had 967 calls for service. Of that, 29 violations, 17 citations and 29 warnings, 3 arrests, and 48 vehicle stops.
Okey dokey. Thank you, sir, for what you do. Councilman Jernigan, maintenance.
I don't have anything to go over. I know Leanna's been working on some applicants for the street maintenance and the maintenance position, and hopefully we can get that filled soon. Still a work in progress, but she's done a good job on it, and it's taken a long time, but folks don't want to get out and work like they used to, I don't guess.
Okay, you have the financial report. I'm sure all of you have gone through that item by item. Anybody have any questions?